Better late than never, they say. I guess I'm a little bit late to this party, but I gotta make a video on it because I always started MMA Sucka with the local British Columbia fight scene, and one of our local studs, Jamie Siraj, finally has a fight lined up. Now, this guy was expected to fight on The Ultimate Fighter. It got turned down. If you want to check that out, I have the interview in the description below. But before we get to that, let me just open this bad boy up. A new partnership for MMA Sucka YouTube channel, Slappies. You saw me get that out of the fridge a minute ago. Slappies Vodka Soda. I have a link to their Instagram page in the description below. You can find that at most BC liquor stores. It is delicious. Goes great. Canucks game, any hockey game, any sporting event, UFC, whatnot. Have yourself a Slappies vodka. All right, it was announced Jamie Siraj will be fighting at this upcoming Tuff-N-Uff. Before we get to that, let's look at this video back where I asked Jamie about what was next for him and whether a fight would be the next bet or whether he would wait for the big call from the UFC.
Absolutely. I'm not waiting. I'm not having another long layoff. And, I feel like people that wait things out are people that are scared of risking their spot. I'm not scared to fucking risk my spot against anybody. And, as of right now, there's a couple fight offers that are being offered to me right now. Obviously, I think it makes the most sense for me to stay in Battlefield. Just being in the fact that it's my hometown, I can make the most money out here, and I feel like Battlefield is such a good platform, getting people to the UFC, Dana White's Contender Series, et cetera, et cetera. I'm pretty sure with where I'm at, I probably could wait till Contender Series, but I think the best thing for me right now in my career is to just book something and immediately. We're not just looking in Canada, we're looking in the States as well. And I just want to stay busy. I've had one fight in the past 4 years that it pisses me off when I look at the guys that when I was 8-2, and these guys are brand new, starting their pro careers. Some of them have gotten to the UFC. Some of them have, PFL, Bellator. Like, it's been incredibly frustrating the years that passed me when I was sick and I had no control. And now I have control, and then I'm just dealing with, and then just even promoters too that will kind of offer you these things last minute where, okay, I have no problem taking that fight, but you want me to come in on 2 weeks notice, the guy will not budge on, making weight or any comment. You want to pay me incredibly shitty to come out here fight. Like I'm also not begging. I'm not a beggar either. I am in a good place, and I will risk my spot 100% with a great matchups and everything. But I'm also in this place where, let's come to an agreement. Let's get me a good opponent. Let's get someone with a winning record that's game as fuck. That's not going to pull out. And I feel like with where I'm at right now, I wouldn't want to come into something underprepared as well. So sure. I don't think it's unfair. Where I'm at, to ask that. I just want good notice against a good opponent with a winning record. That's it.
All right. Well, he's got it. He's got a fight lined up. As I said, Tuff-N-Uff. Here it is. Tuff-N-Uff 137 in Vegas at the theater at Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas. It's live on UFC Fight Pass. Jamie Siraj posted on his Instagram page, the whole world is about to find out who I am. See you soon, Vegas. Get that UFC contract ready. And the local community up here in British Columbia was as amped as they come. If we're looking at the Tuff-N-Uff website, it looks like this fight will serve as the evening's co-main event. Vince Morales versus Luis Guerrero will be the main event. Jamie Siraj, a 9-2 record against his opponent. Tariel Abbasov, 8-1. Let's look at his record first. He's coming off a loss to Rony Jason. A very tough opponent. I believe Rony is a former UFC fighter. If we look at his record, I'm pretty sure he's fought inside the octagon. 9 times inside the octagon. He's got 4 wins, 4 losses, and 1 no contest. So his lone loss is to an ex-UFC fighter. He won 8 in a row prior to that. His wins are all via submission from the looks of it, other than 1 decision. So he's a game opponent. His loss comes from a submission as well in the 3rd round. And now he takes on Jamie Siraj, who's an absolute animal. This kid is 9-2. He went through some serious health scares where many people thought his career was going to be over. As he said, he wanted to stay in Battlefield Fight League locally in British Columbia, but that's not the case. He gets to fight in Vegas and hopefully in front of a show where he gets to put on a show for the UFC Fight Pass, for the UFC brass. Maybe even someone will be there to watch this fight, like Mick Maynard or someone from the UFC. And they'll get to see Jamie Siraj and what he does best, because this kid is an absolute killer. In his last fight, he had a serious hiatus before this performance at Battlefield Fight League 77. We talked to him about that in the interview. And he won a gritty decision where he just dominated his opponent. He was expected to fight Ryan Rohovich. Unfortunately, that fight fell through. They were supposed to fight a few times. And the kid is on a streak. As I said, he's a killer. He's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight win streak. And he just dominates the best of the best. Jamie Siraj is the next big thing in Canadian mixed martial arts. Now, we've been saying that for years locally because we've seen him put on a show. We've seen him beat the who's who locally. We've seen him go to Unified and earn their championship. He's won the Battlefield championship. He fought for a number of different promotions. I've seen him land the nastiest of kidney shots, liver shots, whatever, to the body, dropping guys. He is an animal. His wrestling is relentless. His cage wrestling is relentless. His takedown pressure is relentless. His striking is as crisp as they come. I've seen him inside the gym. I've seen him doing pads with Joey Foy from Pinnacle, Sapperton Scrapper, and these guys push the pace. He is a guy who will relentlessly beat the living crap out of you. If he doesn't finish you in the first round, he's going to get out there in the second round and just continue to dominate you. Now, I sound like a homer, but I seriously believe in Jamie Siraj and what he has to bring to the table after all he has overcome with his health scares. I can't say much more. I would have loved to have fought Battlefield Fight League in his next fight because selfishly I would have wanted to watch it myself. But I'm super stoked that he has a fight lined up, and I'm super stoked that we get to watch it on UFC Fight Pass, and he gets to fly to Vegas, and he gets to fight in the pinnacle of MMA in Vegas. So if he gets this victory, and he gets it in dominating fashion, I would not be surprised by the least if he gets signed to the UFC. We're going to bypass the Contender Series. We're going to bypass the Ultimate Fighter. We're going to take a sip of this Slappy's drink, and he's going to get signed to the UFC after a big performance in this Tuff-N-Uff fight. That does it. I usually put out videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I did not put out a video yesterday, but I will have a video out tomorrow, and I will have a video out Friday. We're going to do a blind rankings video. Make sure you click that like button, click the subscribe button, and click the notification bell for everything I've got on the MMA Sucka YouTube channel. Also, Fraser Crone had a video come out yesterday, the MMA Sucka podcast. Great video talking about this past weekend. Alex Perez, huge victory at UFC. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you follow us on all social medias, and make sure you check out the description below for that interview with Jamie Siraj, as well as Slappy's. Make sure you check them out as well. I will be back with a video on Wednesday.